Hey, this is Crystal Miller with another Tip Tuesday for you. Today, I wanted to share some information with you in regards to an update that is coming out with the credit bureaus on how they handle delinquent accounts. This is going to go into effect June 8th, so it's right around the corner that some pretty significant things are going to be changing. There's quite a few new regulations that are going to be getting implemented, but this is one that I feel like affects everybody. So even if you pay your bills on time, you don't feel like you're one of those people that has collection issues. If you have any significant medical things that go on, that's very, very, very common to still see collections show up on your credit reports. And so it's not just the irresponsible or hardship or unusual scenarios that are putting people into a delinquency issue when it comes to their credit reports. It's oftentimes a medical situation that puts somebody into a scenario that provides a collection report on their a collection account on their credit report. So what's happening is basically right now, it's really common that if you have a medical bill, the facility outsources that to a collection company, and you've got 30 days to pay it. If you haven't had it paid within 30 days, oftentimes it gets rolled over into a legitimate collection account. Typically, that's not enough time for your insurance to even come in and pay their portion of the bill. And it gets really hairy when you're talking split families, multiple insurance providers, all of these different layers make it not a fast process or a clean and accurate process for these medical and insurance companies to get through their billing process. But yet you as a consumer, traditionally, we're seeing that after 30 days from a bill due date, you're hitting a collection account. And so that's really frustrating. And then the follow-up on it is even more frustrating because lots of times I'm seeing that an insurance company will come in and pay that bill way after the fact. It might be a couple months later. In the meantime, you've had a collection account sitting on your credit report hurting your score, and now the insurance company's paid the bill, but you still have to go through a bunch of hoops and time to deal with this account that is not just instantly updated as well on your credit report. So what they're doing is there was a lawsuit between the New York Attorney General and the 3 credit bureaus that do the reporting. And so what they're doing is now they have to start acknowledging that these insurance companies need more time. So what they're going to do now is that before a medical company or a collection company can hit your credit report with a late pay or a collection account on your medical bills, they have to give you 180 days from the delinquent date. So you've got your 30 days to pay your bill. Once it goes delinquent, you've got 180 days to get all that wrapped up. Your insurance company, if you're splitting stuff out and there's multiple providers, all of that, there's now some time to actually get that done correctly. Now, if 180 days goes by and this bill still has had no attention, it's still probably going to hit your credit report. But 180 days is pretty significant to get all these things caught up. So it's such a huge it's going to be a huge impact on credit reporting in general and protecting people's scores because they're finally implementing some common sense things as far as what these timelines need to make these accounts accurate. I see it all the time. We'll be in the middle of a loan and all of a sudden somebody has a collection pop up and it's not even in their mind, in the consumer's mind, it's not even a late bill. Hasn't been covered by insurance yet. They don't know what their portion really is. But man, that can screw up your score. It can screw up the process. So it's a pretty impactful change that they're doing, and it's a really, really good change. But in June 8th is when they're going to start doing that. So if you happen to be someone who has some medical accounts on your credit score, on your credit report, and you've got medical collections, this is a really good time to really start hound dogging that because there's a real good chance that when you look back and ask them to start verifying dates, they're probably going to need to remove that for you and start accommodating these new guidelines. Some facilities have already been implementing this in preparation, but just in case if I was a consumer and I had that issue, I would absolutely be making some calls and I would reference these new guidelines that are going in place June 8th. So if this is something that impacts you or maybe one of your friends or family members, if you need some more information or some help, don't hesitate to reach out. This is something that we stay really well educated on and stay up on. So I'm always happy to help provide information that can help you better your scenario and your score, even if you're not looking to buy a house. It's something that affects everything we do these days. So I'm happy to help if I can. Our website's at the bottom as well as my phone number. So we'll talk to you soon and have a great week.